Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Style that draws you in, comfort that stays with you. Explore handcraft pieces from Flex Steel, designed for real life and built to last. Available now at Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Big red rocking chair on Elm, off Adams in LeGrand. Congratulations first off to the Imbler girls and the Union boys basketball teams. They both got second this weekend at the state championships, the 2A state championships out in Baker, 1A state championships, excuse me. I would assume because both teams have a lot of young kids on them, I'm going to go ahead and assume and say right now that they're probably going to be right back in the mix next year looking for a state championship. Union hasn't had one since 1949, and they had a chance this year. They just came up a little bit short in that state title game, and I'll be rooting for them for sure. LHS boys basketball plays today at 1:30 in the quarterfinals versus number one Scappoose. Man, this boys team, they've consistently gotten better all year. In the beginning, I was kind of, like iffy about them. I thought for sure, like that they were going to be better than they have in the past. The Abbott brothers moved into town, and they just made the team better overall. But just the growth that I've seen out of this team has been crazy. I mean, they have a good chance at knocking off number one today, and that would be amazing. That gets them into hardware, so we'll see what happens right there. And then they released all the awards. I'm not going to list them all. I put them up on social media for everybody to see. But I am going to say that I don't disagree with GOL awards very often, but the Coach of the Year for the boys this year, and the coaches vote for this, and I don't know how this happens, but they voted Kevin Attila, who's a LeGrand kid. He's the head coach in Ontario. But the problem in my mind for that is that sets a precedent for not giving the Coach of the Year to the coach of the team that wins the league. And that's the first time it's happened in a long time. I mean, Jabron Jones was the Coach of the Year the last 3 years in a row. Baker's been dominant in the GOL. Sean Brooks, LeGrand's coach, should have been the GOL Coach of the Year. And I feel like he got robbed for that. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Kevin Attila. Great guy, great coach. But if you look at the past and the way things have gone in the GOL, they've always pretty much given Coach of the Year to the team that wins the league. And Brooks won his first GOL title ever this year. He's never gotten Coach of the Year, and they still didn't give it to him. And I feel like that's completely wrong. You know what I mean? So Brooks is my GOL Coach of the Year for sure. LHS spring sports have gotten practices rolling. LHS baseball is number 8 in the preseason coaches poll, while GOL rival Pendleton comes in at number 3. The softball poll should be coming out anytime in the next few days. EOU has decided to no longer have women's lacrosse. And I mean, I hate to say this, but I think it was common. The reality of it is it just didn't get any feet here. It didn't sink in. You know what I mean? It's a rural community. Lacrosse is like growing up. I know lacrosse was like kind of the rich kids' sport, and it just didn't ever grab on here. And so now we have to think about what is going to replace it because of Title IX. And EOU hasn't made any announcements on what they're going to do, whether it's drop a men's program, add a women's program. But I have a post up on social media right now where it asks the question, what sport do you think EOU should bring to town for the women? So if you have a chance, get on there and talk about it. There's been quite a bit of talk about it. This women's lacrosse team, this will be their last year, and their final senior day will be this Saturday up at Community Stadium versus Whitworth at 2 p.m. EOU women's basketball has their opening round of the NAIA National Tournament tomorrow in Mitchell, South Dakota versus the College of the Ozarks. That game will be a 7:45 p.m. Central Time tip. And then the men's basketball team has their opening round tomorrow as well in Langston, Oklahoma versus LSU Alexandria. That game tips at 7 p.m. Central Time. So good luck to the Mountie basketball teams. EOU women's wrestling is in Wichita, Kansas this weekend for the women's national tournament. That's going to be awesome. I think EOU has 5 or 6 girls, or women, that qualified for the national tournament, and they should make a little bit of noise. AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. They want to make you comfortable in your own home.